Problem number 1 on trusses. Find the nodal displacement, stress and reaction of truss element shown in figure. Take E is equal to 70 GPa, A is equal to 200 mm square. This is the figure given. See, this truss structure is made up of 2 bars. We know that truss is a structure which is made up of number of bars. Here this truss structure is made up of 2 bars, and you can see here this end and this end of the truss are fixed, and a load of 12 kN is acting at this point. Young's modulus of the material is given 70 GPa and cross section area is given 200 mm square. See, the question is from VTU question paper June, July 2014, December 2014, January 2015. See, very important problem. See, we know the first step, that is finite element model, means discretization of the given structure. See, since this truss structure is made up of 2 bars, for finite element model you have to use 2 truss element. One is for this and one more is for this. Solution. First is finite element model. So we will use 2 elements for finite element model. This is one element. This is one more element. Element number 1, element number 2. Lengths are given. This length is 400 mm. And this length is 300 mm. And this length it is 500 mm. See, next is node numbering. See, you can start node numbering either from this end or from this end. So I will start from this end. Node number 1, node number 2, node number 3. Next you have to give the displacement. See, we know that for a truss element, for each node there are 2 degrees of freedom. Means one is displacement in x direction, another one is displacement in y direction. So I will take here for first node the displacement in x direction, I will take it as q1. Similarly in y direction we will take it as q2. So q1 and q2 are the displacement for node number 1 in x and y direction. Similarly for node number 2 I will take q3 displacement in x direction and q4 displacement in y direction. Similarly for node number 3 displacement in x direction is q5 and displacement in y direction is q6. So these are the nodal displacement. Next is nodal forces, means applied force at each node. See, at node 1 I will take the applied force in x direction as F1. Similarly in y direction I will take F2. Next, nodal force at node number 2 I will take in x direction it is F3, in y direction it is F4. Similarly at node number 3 applied load in x direction I will take it as F5 and in y direction I will take it as F6. Now the sign convention. See, we will take if the displacement or the applied force is in positive x direction, means from left side to right side, then we will take it as positive. If it is in the other direction, means from right side to left side, we will take it as negative. Similarly, if the load or displacement is in positive y direction, then we will take it as positive. If it is in negative y direction, then we will take it as negative. If you see the figure here, 12 kN is acting downward, means it is acting in the negative y direction. So this force is minus 12 kN. So at node number 2, the load acting in y direction, that is F4, is minus 12 kilonewton because it is acting downward, that's why we have taken negative. If it is acting upward, then you have to take positive. This is about the finite element model. Next is connectivity table. Connectivity table. See here. Very important table. If you make mistake while writing the connectivity table, then the entire problem becomes wrong. See, first column will take it as element number. Element. Next is initial node. Final node. Effective length, that is LE, effective length of the element. Next is direction cosines. Here direction cosines L and M. Next we need L square. Next M square, LM. See here, first I will give the element number. We have two elements, so I will take first element, element number 1. You can see here, this is our element number 1. So it connects node number 1 to 2, means node number 1 is the initial node, node number 2 is the final node. So initial node is 1, final node is 2. So what is the coordinate for node 1 and node 2? We are representing this finite element model in global coordinate system. The global coordinate system is for the entire structure, not for individual element. See, global coordinate system is nothing but your Cartesian coordinate system. We know the Cartesian coordinate system. See here, just I will write here. This is X, this is Y. This is the origin O. See, this is our Cartesian coordinate system. This is first quadrant, second quadrant, third quadrant and fourth quadrant. See, in first quadrant both X and Y are positive. In second quadrant X is negative, Y is positive. In third quadrant both X and Y are negative. In fourth quadrant X is positive, Y is negative. So this is our Cartesian coordinate system. See, we have to start the node numbering from the origin. Means I will take node number 1 as our origin, or you can take node number 3 as also your origin. It is not a problem. But in this problem I will take node number 1 as origin, means node number 1 is at 0, 0. So coordinate for node number 1 is 0, 0. Next, second node, node number 2. If this is origin, from here to here the length is 500 in X direction, but in Y direction no length. So the coordinate for node number 2 is 500, 0. It is 500, 0. Now length of the element. Length of the element it is given 500 mm. So length of the element is 500 mm. Next, the direction cosines L and M. See, we have derived the formula for L and M. L is x2 minus x1 divided by LE, that is length of the element. See here, this is x2 y2, this is x1 y1. You can write if you want, it is x2 y2, this is x1 y1. See here, L is x2 minus x1 divided by length, means 500 minus 0 divided by 500. The value is 1. So L is 1. M, the formula for M is y2 minus y1 by LE. y2 is 0, y1 is 0, divided by 500 means it is 0. Next, L square, 1 square is 1, M square 0 square 0, L into M is again 0. See, next is second element, element number 2. You can see here, this is our element number 2. It connects node number 2 to 3. Means initial node is 2, final node is 3. Initial node is 2 and final node is 3. We know the coordinate for node number 2, that is 500, 0. 500, 0. Next, node number 3. This is our origin. From here, the x is 500 plus 400, that is 900, y. See, this is our origin. Y is from here to here. The length is given, it is 300. So y is 300, but it is in negative y direction. Means here minus 300. 900, minus 300. What about the length of the element? Here length of the element is not given, but this length and this length are given. See, this is a right angle triangle. So you can apply Pythagoras theorem. If you apply Pythagoras theorem, you will get the length as 500. So length of the element will be 500 by applying the Pythagoras theorem. Now we want L. L is x2 minus x1 by LE. Here x2 is 900, x1 is 500. 900 minus 500, it is 400, divided by 500. It becomes 0.8, 0.8 L. M is y2 minus y1 by LE. y2 is minus 300 here, y1 is 0. Minus 300 minus 0 divided by 500. It will be minus 0.6. Next, L square. It is 0.8 square. It is 0.64. M square minus 0.6 square. It is 0.36. 0.36. L into M, 0.8 into minus 0.6, it is minus 0.48. So this is the connectivity table, which is very important to solve the problem. If you make any mistake while writing this connectivity table, then your entire problem becomes wrong. So if you write the connectivity table correctly, then the problem will be very easy. Next is elemental stiffness matrix. Elemental stiffness matrix. So here there are two elements, so we will get two elemental stiffness matrix. We have the formula K is equal to AE by LE, L square LM minus L square minus LM, LM minus L square minus LM is M square minus LM minus M square minus LM minus M square, L square LM, LM M square. This is the elemental stiffness matrix for truss element. Now for element 1, for element 1, K1 is equal to area, it is 200. See here you have to be very careful about the units. See, the model is in mm, that's why you have to take all the units in mm only. So area is in mm square, 200 mm square. So Young's modulus also should be in Newton per mm square. It is 70 gigapascal. If you convert it into Newton per mm square, it is 70 into 10 power 3 divided by length of the first element, it is 500 mm. L square, it is 1, LM 0 minus L square minus LM 0. See, we know that the stiffness matrix is a symmetric matrix. So you can directly write this 0 minus 1 0. Next m square, it is 0. Lm minus Lm 0 minus m square 0. Due to symmetry, here I can write 0 0. Next we need L square. L square is 1 for first element. Lm is 0. Due to symmetry, it will be 0. M square is again 0. So this is the, if you simplify this, we will get K1 is equal to 10 to the power of 4 outside, 2.8, 0 minus 2.8, 0, 0 minus 2.8, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 2.8, 0, 0, 0. This is elemental stiffness matrix for first element. Next you have to give the node numbering. For node numbering, you have to see the FE model. See, element 1, it connects node number 1 to node number 2. See, for node number 1, the degree of freedom is Q1, Q2. That is, displacement is Q1, Q2. And for node number 2, the displacement is Q3, Q4. That's why I have to give the number 1, 2, 3, 4. So here numbering will be 1, 2, 3, 4. Here also 1, 2, 3, 4. Next, for element 2, K2 is area, it is 200 into Young's modulus 70 into 10 power 3, length is again 500, L square, it is 0.64, Lm minus 0.48 minus L square minus 0.64 minus Lm, it is 0.48. Due to symmetry, I can write here minus 0.48 minus 0.64 0.48. Next, here we need m square, it is 0.36 minus Lm, it is 0.48 minus m square, it is minus 0.36. Due to symmetry, here I can write 0.48 minus 0.36. Next, here we need L square, it is 0.64. Here we need Lm, it is minus 0.48. Due to symmetry, here I can write minus 0.48. M square, it is 0.36. 0.36. If you simplify this, you will get K2 is equal to 10 to the power of 4, 1.8 minus 1.34 minus 1.8, 1.34. Due to symmetry, here I can write minus 1.34 minus 1.8, 1.34. Here 1.01, 1.34 minus 1.01. Due to symmetry, here I can write 1.34 minus 1.01. Next, here 1.8 minus 1.34. Here minus 1.34. Here 1.01. This is the elemental stiffness matrix for second element. Next is node numbering. See here, element number 2, it connects node number 2 to 3. The degree of freedom or the displacement at node number 2 is Q3, Q4, and at node number 3 is Q5, Q6. That's why you have to give the number 3, 4, 5, 6. So it is 3, 4, 5, 6. Similarly here 3, 4, 5, 6. Next is global stiffness matrix. That is K is equal to K1 plus K2. Now what is the order of the global stiffness matrix? See here. Here for each node there are 2 degrees of freedom. Means for node 1 the displacement is Q1, Q2. For node 2 the displacement is Q3, Q4. And for node 3 the displacement is Q5, Q6. Means here the total number of degrees of freedom for this truss structure is 6 because there are 3 nodes. Each node has got 2 degrees of freedom. Here the order of the stiffness matrix will be equal to total number of degrees of freedom. So total DOF is 6. That's why order of the stiffness matrix will be 6 cross 6. So therefore K is, I will give the numbering 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Similarly here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. See, we need the element corresponding to 1 and 1. For that we have to see the elemental stiffness matrix. In the elemental stiffness matrix of first element corresponding to 1 and 1 is 2.8. But in K2 we don't have any element corresponding to 1 and 1. Therefore here element corresponding to 1 and 1 is 2.8. Next we need element corresponding to 2 and 1. See, K1 element corresponding to 2 and 1 is 0. But in K2 we don't have any element corresponding to 2 and 1. Therefore here element corresponding to 2 and 1 is 0. Next we need element corresponding to 3 and 1. See, in K1 element corresponding to 3 and 1 is minus 2.8. But in K2 we don't have any element corresponding to 3 and 1. Therefore element corresponding to 3 and 1 is minus 2.8. Next we need element corresponding to 4 and 1. K1, here element corresponding to 4 and 1 is 0. In K2 we don't have any element corresponding to 4 and 1. Therefore element corresponding to 4 and 1 is 0. Next we need element corresponding to 5 and 1. See, in K1 we don't have any element corresponding to 5 and 1. Also in K2 we don't have any element corresponding to 5 and 1. Therefore it is 0. Next we need element corresponding to 6 and 1. See, in K1 we don't have any element corresponding to 6 and 1. Also in K2 we don't have any element corresponding to 6 and 1. Therefore here it is 0. See, due to symmetry you can write this first column. It is 0, minus 2.8, 0, 0, 0. Next we need element corresponding to 2 and 2. See, in K1 element corresponding to 2 and 2 is 0. But in K2 we don't have any element corresponding to 2 and 2. Therefore element corresponding to 2 and 2 is 0. Next we need element corresponding to 3 and 2. See, in K1 the element corresponding to 3 and 2 is 0. But in K2 we don't have any element corresponding to 3 and 2. Therefore here element corresponding to 3 and 2 is 0. Next we need element corresponding to 4 and 2. See, in K1 the element corresponding to 4 and 2 is 0. But in K2 we don't have any element corresponding to 4 and 2. So element corresponding to 4 and 2 is 0. Next we need element corresponding to 5 and 2. See, K1 here we don't have any element corresponding to 5 and 2. Similarly in K2 also we don't have any element corresponding to 5 and 2. So here element corresponding to 5 and 2 is 0. Next we need element corresponding to 6 and 2. See, in K1 element corresponding to 6 and 2. We don't have any element corresponding to 6 and 2 in K1. Also in K2 we don't have any element corresponding to 6 and 2. Therefore the element corresponding to 6 and 2 is 0. Next, due to symmetry you can write here in the second column 0, 0, 0, 0. Next, we need element corresponding to 3 and 3. See, in K1, the element corresponding to 3 and 3 is 2.8. Also in K2, we have element corresponding to 3 and 3. It is 1.8. Therefore, here you have to add this 2.8 and this 1.8. It will be 4.6. So, element corresponding to 3 and 3 is 4.6. Next, we need element corresponding to 4 and 3. See, in K1, element corresponding to 4 and 3 is 0. But in K2, the element corresponding to 4 and 3 is minus 1.34. Therefore, here element corresponding to 4 and 3 is minus 1.34. Next, we need element corresponding to 5 and 3. See, in K1, we don't have any element corresponding to 5 and 3. But in K2, we have element corresponding to 5 and 3, that is minus 1.8. So, here it is minus 1.8. Next, we need element corresponding to 6 and 3. See, in K1, we don't have any element corresponding to 6 and 3. But in K2, we have element corresponding to 6 and 3, that is 1.34. Therefore, here you will get 1.34. Due to symmetry, you can write this third column. It is minus 1.34 minus 1.8, 1.34. Next, we need element corresponding to 4 and 4. See, in K1, element corresponding to 4 and 4 is 0. In K2, the element corresponding to 4 and 4 is 1.01. Therefore, here it is 1.01. Next, we need element corresponding to 5 and 4. See, K1, here we don't have any element corresponding to 5 and 4. But in K2, the element corresponding to 5 and 4 is 1.34. Therefore, here it is 1.34. Next, we need element corresponding to 6 and 4. In K1, the element corresponding to 6 and 4 is 0, because here we don't have any element corresponding to 6 and 4. But in K2, we have element corresponding to 6 and 4. It is minus 1.01. Therefore, here it is minus 1.01. So, due to symmetry, you can write in the fourth column, it is 1.34, it is minus 1.01. Next, we need element corresponding to 5 and 5. In K1, we don't have any element corresponding to 5 and 5. But in K2, the element corresponding to 5 and 5 is 1.8. That's why here you will get 1.8. Next, we need element corresponding to 6 and 5. See, K1, here we don't have any element corresponding to 6 and 5. But in K2, the element corresponding to 6 and 5, it is minus 1.34. So, here you will get minus 1.34. Next, we need element corresponding to 5 and 6. That is, due to symmetry, you can write it as minus 1.34. Next, we need element corresponding to 6 and 6. See, K1, here we don't have any element corresponding to 6 and 6. But in K2, we have element corresponding to 6 and 6. That is 1.01. So, here we will get 1.01. This is the global stiffness matrix. Next is global displacement vector. Global displacement vector Q is equal to Q1, Q2 at node number 1, Q3, Q4 at node number 2, Q5, Q6 at node number 3 transpose. Next, global force vector, that is F is equal to F1, F2 nodal force at node number 1, F3, F4 nodal force at node number 2, next F5, F6 nodal force at node number 3 transpose, or F is equal to, see the figure, see this is node number 1, here we don't have any applied force, means this F1 and F2 will be equal to 0. So F1, F2 will be 0. Next we need F3, F4, that is nodal force acting at node number 2. See here at node number 2 we don't have any force acting in x direction, but we have force acting in y direction, but it is acting in negative y direction. That's why I have to take it as minus 12 kilonewton. See here F3 it is 0, F4 it is minus 12 kilonewton because it is acting downward. That's why I have to take minus 12 kilonewton. F3 0, F4 is minus 12 kilonewton, 12 into 10 power 3. F5 and F6, it is a nodal force acting at node number 3. See the figure, at node number 3 we don't have any applied force. Therefore this F5 and F6 becomes 0. So F5 0, F6 also 0. This is the nodal force vector. Next is equilibrium condition. K into Q is equal to F. It is K is 10 to the power of 4, 2.8, 0 minus 2.8, 0, 0, 0, 0 minus 2.8, 0, 0, 0. Here 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Here also 0, 0, 0, 0. Next 4.6 minus 1.34 minus 1.8, 1.34. Here it is minus 1.34 minus 1.8, 1.34. It is 1.01, 1.34 minus 1.01. It is 1.34 minus 1.01. It is 1.8 minus 1.34 minus 1.34, 1.01. This is K into Q, that is Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4, Q5, Q6 is equal to F, that is 0, 0, 0 minus 12 into 10 power 3, 0, 0. Next is applying the boundary condition. Applying the boundary condition. See, if you see the figure, node number 1 and 3 are fixed. Therefore, corresponding displacements are 0. Since node number 1 and 3 are fixed, the corresponding displacements Q1, Q2, Q5, Q6 are 0. See from figure, since node 1 and 3 are fixed, Q1 is equal to Q2 is equal to Q5 is equal to Q6 is equal to 0. Q1, Q2 are the displacements at node number 1 and Q5 and Q6 are the displacements at node number 3. Since node number 1 and 3 are fixed, the corresponding displacements are 0. Now for applying the boundary condition, we will use elimination method. See, according to the elimination method, since Q1, Q2, Q5, Q6 are 0, we can eliminate the corresponding rows and columns. Means you can eliminate first row, first column, second row, second column, fifth row, fifth column, sixth row, sixth column. So by using elimination method, corresponding rows and columns are eliminated. See, since Q1, Q2, Q5, Q6 are 0, we can eliminate corresponding rows and columns in the equilibrium equation. Since Q1 is 0, we can eliminate first row, first column. I will eliminate first row, first column because Q1 is 0. Similarly, we have Q2 is equal to 0, means we can eliminate second row, second column. I will eliminate second row, second column. Minus 12 into 10 power 3. Now multiply the matrix. See, 4.6 into Q3, 4.6 into Q3 minus 1.34 into Q4, minus 1.34 into Q4 is equal to 0. Next, minus 1.34 into Q3, minus 1.34 into Q3 plus 1.01 into Q4 plus 1.01 into Q4 is equal to minus 12 into 10 power minus 1. I have taken this 10 power 4 this side, so it becomes 10 power minus 4 into 10 power 3, it becomes 10 power minus 1. Now if you solve these two equations, we will get Q3 and Q4. So on solving, above equations, we get Q3 is equal to minus 0.5641 mm. This is displacement at node number 3 in x direction, and Q4 will be equal to minus 1.9366 mm. This is displacement at node number 2 in y direction. So these two are the displacements at node number 2, Q3 in x direction and Q4 in y direction. Next we want stress in each element. Next is stress in each element. So we have sigma 1 is equal to E by LE minus L minus M into Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. See why Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4? This is the nodal displacement of node 1 and node 2, because element 1 connects node number 1 and 2. I have to take the corresponding nodal displacements. Now substitute the values. E is 70 gigapascal, so 10 power 3. By length it is 500. L is minus 1, M is 0, 1, 0. Q1 0, Q2 0, Q3 is minus 0.5641 and Q4 is minus 1.9366. If you solve this, you will get sigma 1. Therefore, sigma 1 will be minus 78.97 Newton per mm square. This is stress in element 1. Next we need stress in element 2, that is sigma 2 is E by LE minus L minus M L M into Q3 Q4 Q5 Q6. Why Q3 Q4 Q5 Q6? See, element number 2 connects node number 2 to 3. So corresponding nodal displacements are Q3, Q4, Q5, Q6. Now substitute the given value. Sigma 2 is equal to E is 70 GPa, 70 to 10 power 3 by length 500 mm. It is minus 0.8, 0.6, 0.8 minus 0.6 into minus 0.5641 minus 1.936600. If you simplify this, you will get sigma 2. Sigma 2 is equal to minus 99.49 Newton per mm square. This is stress in second element. Next we need support reactions. See here, if you see the figure, we have support at node number 1 and 3. That's why I have to find out the support reaction at node number 1 and node number 3. At node number 1, the support reaction will be R1 and R2, and at node number 3 it will be R5 and R6. Here support reaction will be both in X and Y direction. That's why I have to find out R1, R2 and R5, R6. Support reaction. See, we have the formula. Support reaction R is equal to K into Q minus F. At node 1, we need the support reaction R1 and R2. So R1 is K11 Q1 plus K12 Q2 plus K13 Q3 plus K14 Q4 plus K15 Q5 plus K16 Q6 minus F1. So if you substitute all the values and simplify, you will get R1 is equal to 15.795 kilonewton. This is R1. Support reaction at node number 1 in X direction. Next we need R2. R2 is K21 Q1 plus K22 Q2 plus K23 Q3 plus K24 Q4 plus K25 Q5 plus K26 Q6 minus F2. If you substitute all the values and simplify, you will get R2 is equal to 0. Support reaction at node number 1 in Y direction is 0. Next we need the support reaction at node number 3. At node 3, that is R5 is equal to K51 Q1 plus K52 Q2 plus K53 Q3 plus K54 Q4 plus K55 Q5 plus K56 Q6 minus F5. If you substitute all the values and simplify, we will get R5 is equal to minus 15.797 kilonewton. This is the support reaction at node number 3 in X direction. Similarly, we need R6 support reaction at node number 3 in Y direction, that is K61 Q1 plus K62 Q2 plus dot 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 up to K66 Q6 minus F6. If you substitute all the values and simplify, we will get R6 is equal to 12 kilonewton. This is the support reaction at node number 3 in Y direction. Thank you.